Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to do this really pretty marble design. I did a set of nails a little while ago and everybody wanted to know how I did this. It's really simple. If you can do marbling with your gel polish, you can do marbling with this. So I thought I'd do a little free class for you guys and give you a little quick tutorial on how to do this design. The only difference that I'm going to be doing today on this set, I used Luxio Koi, which is a really soft sheer white for the background of this color, but because I'm going to be working with tips, it doesn't really show up as well, so I'm going to be using Luxio Pure, which is just a really soft ivory white, and it's more of a solid color. So that's basically the only real difference between the two is the background color, but you're going to get the same finished effect, which is perfect. So let's get started. What I'm going to be using is, we're going to need a mixing palette, you're going to need a detail brush. I have Luxio Pure, Luxio Brazen, Luxio Gloss, and I also have my Gel Art Black, and then I also have the Gel Play Glitz. I'm going to be using the 24 karat gold and the white gold. So those are the things I'm going to need to make this design. If you don't have these exact colors, don't panic if you don't have this teal green color. You can use blue, purple, whatever you happen to have. I do prefer using Luxio for the green just because it spreads really nicely. If you want to use your options colors, just thin them down really well so they have some consistency to them, so they're going to spread out a little bit. I am going to be mixing my Luxio with my color with a little bit of gloss to thin it out a little bit. If you're using your options colors and they're a little bit thicker, just thin them out so they have a nice runny consistency, okay? It won't work quite the same if your colors are a little bit too thick. You do want to have something that's going to have some slip and glide to it, okay? I think that's all we need. Oh, and of course Shine On for your top coat, because it's Shine On and we always need Shine On. It's a given. So let's just get this out of the way. And I will be using the Hybrid Pro lamp. So everything is going to be a 30-second cure. All right, so I'm going to do 2 coats of Pure to start. And I am using like a soft white for this. If you don't have a soft white, that's fine. Just because of the look that we were going for, we chose to use Koi. And it worked really well with the French ombre as well, because it was a really nice, soft, kind of pulled together look. A white would be fine too, depending on the look you're going for. Again, play around. I mean, this is what we chose to do for that set, and it worked really beautifully. But if you have different colors, use your different colors, totally. The only thing I don't really like is when red is marbled. It kind of has like a, like I really banged up my nail and it's bleeding kind of look, you know what I mean? It's great for Halloween. I don't really like doing like a red marble. I just don't like the look of it. It's not my favorite, but to each their own. Okay, we'll do our second coat of this color here. And I'll throw that back in the light. So what I've done with my teal color is I've taken a little bit of my Luxio gloss and a little bit of my Brazen and just mixed it because I want to have a thinned out color, something that's going to allow me to blend it a lot easier. And I don't want it to be too highly pigmented. I want it to be a soft look. So a little bit kind of, I don't know, not quite half and half of the clear and the Brazen together. So what I'm going to do is lay down a layer of Luxio gloss first. Let me get this back in the picture here for you guys too. So we're going to put down a layer of Luxio gloss. Now by doing this, this is going to provide us with some slip and glide, which is very important whenever you're doing marbling. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways you can achieve a marble look. This is very similar. I know that blooming gel is a really big deal as well for marbling. This isn't as bloomy as blooming gel by doing it this way, but it's still going to give you enough workability with your product that it will spread out. So if you have blooming gel, if you want to try it with that, you can too. It'll give you a bit more of a dispersed look, but I kind of prefer the Luxio gloss. I just have a little bit more control over the product when I'm doing it with a look like this. Now, there's no set design with marbling, as we all know, so kind of work it how you want to. If you want to keep your design centered like more into the middle of the nail, kind of going off to the side, if you like it framed, the nail, if you like it kind of abstract, marbling is marbling. You can't really do anything wrong with it. The only thing I will suggest as we start doing your black lines is make it as natural looking as you can and not stripy. Marbling is abstract and squiggly, whereas if you do lines that are just a bit more straight and even, you're going to get more of like a zebra kind of stripy look. So make sure that as you're doing your background color, be aware that that's where you're going to be laying down your blacker lines as well. So kind of keep that in mind too. It's an abstract piece. It's not meant to be exactly defined. So each nail can be different. They don't need to be cookie cutter the same, which you're never going to get with marbling anyway. So I'm going to be using my mix of the Myth and the gloss. Okay. So I'm going to do, I think we'll do kind of like chunk in the center here and work outwards from that. Now this is a nice consistency right now because I've already laid down my gloss color, and this is mixed with gloss, so it's got a nice workability to it. It's flowing well and it's just moving around quite nicely. It's perfect. And this is your background color, so don't worry if it doesn't look 100% perfect, because we are going to take our brush and kind of like dab this out and blend it a bit more too. So this isn't how it's actually going to look, don't worry. But kind of keep in mind where you're placing it, because that's where your black is going to go, kind of around this. So here's our start. I'm not going to cure this yet. I'm going to dip my brush into a little bit of just a plain gloss, and I'm just going to help break this up a little bit more around the edges so it's not so solid of a color. We want this background color to blend. Okay? And same with these down here. Let's just break that up a little bit. Just going to tap, tap, tap on that. And you can see how the gloss being mixed in with the color and having that as our background is helping us quite a bit. If we didn't have that layer of gloss behind it, we would be here forever trying to blend this out. I use Luxio gloss for a lot of things. It's one of my favorite products to have in my drawer because it's useful for so much. Okay, so this is our beginning of this look. So it's okay if it's not perfect because it's not gonna be. It's a marbled look. So I'm gonna freeze cure this. I don't need to do a full cure because I'm gonna be coming over top with more colors and we're gonna be layering it more and curing it all at the end. So a freeze cure is great. If you're using your LED, you're good by now, 5 seconds or so. If you're using a UV light, give it a good 10 to 15 seconds for a freeze cure, okay? Now I'm gonna come over this again with another thin layer of Luxio gloss, and we will do our black marbling on top of this. So I'm going to take my detail brush again. We're going to go into our gel art black. If you want to use your Luxio Noir with this or your gel play black, you totally can. I prefer the gel art black for marbling. I find it's just like a nice mid-tone consistency. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. And because we are working on top of the gloss, it's going to spread out a little bit. So that's why I like using the Options Gel Art Black for my marbling. So I'm just going to start now. Because we've done a blob here, I'm going to do a darker section here, and I'm going to lay in some of my glitters like I've done on these. So I will do a darker, bigger, darker chunk here and kind of work around that, okay? You guys don't have to do this exact pattern. You can work around however you've placed your green background. Now see how I'm drawing my lines here with the marbling? I'm letting my brush squiggle. It's not perfect, and we're just kind of letting it go. When you look at a marble countertop or like a marble, I don't know, phone case or something else that's out on the market, that everything is marbled these days, nothing is perfect, okay? So make sure that your lines allow for the flaws of a natural marble look, and that's what you want. And we can always go back over these and create a little bit more depth in a few areas, that's fine. But we want to see the shadowing, we want to see those lines disperse, and we want to have it that slightly more natural look. So I'm going to put another chunk of glittery down here at the bottom. And I think I will add something else up here at the top as well to kind of fill in this space here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more black in a few spots. Make that a little bit darker. Okay, so you don't need to like rush this design, because if you want to take a minute and kind of sit back and look at it and go, oh, where do I need just a little bit more to sort of fill in some spaces, you totally can. Like, take your time. You got the time working with Luxio gloss. You've got the time to kind of sit back and look at something and go, oh yeah, we could use another little line there. I'm using a very light touch too, you guys, okay? This is like super light touch. It's not a heavy press down at all. The beauty of working with the gels is that you have this dragability with your products, and it's not going to go anywhere, and you have the time to work around with them. Okay, so I'm going to cure this because it's black. I'm going to give it a full 30 seconds, and we'll give that time to cure, so when we go and add our glitters on top, the black's not going to smudge and drag around. You can use your options colors as I'm thinking about this. I would just really thin them out quite well with either your options like a crystal clear or your Luxio gloss, but I think it might be a little bit trickier. It's just going to be a little bit too thick. But if you want to try using your other thicker colors, go right ahead. Okay, so I'm just going to come back in with a little bit more black and touch up a few teensy little spots here. And just add a little bit more depth on just a few lines. Okay, so now we will add a little bit of glitter into this. Because, you know, it's glitter, and what doesn't need glitter? So I'll put a bit of silver there. And if you want to change these glitter colors too, go right ahead. Like if you want to use, if you're doing a purple design, if you want to use purple and a silver or whatever your little heart desires, feel free. It's just that we had used the silver and the gold and on the set, so that's what I thought I would stick with for today. I'm going to put a little bit of gold up top here. There. So back in the light we go. And I will finish this off with Shine On. Okay, that's good for that. And back in one more time. So that wasn't too scary, you guys, was it? It's a very simple design. Marbling is beautiful because you can do it with so many different things. I mean, you can add it as one accent nail to a set. I don't know if I do an entire set like this, but it definitely gives you a little bit more flexibility when you start adding color behind it rather than just the black and white typical marble. When you add a little bit more behind it, it just brings out that much more to it. So this should open up a whole new world of design options for you guys, which I'm kind of excited to see what you guys can do with these. You have a group on Facebook that we have set up for you guys to join. This, let me just pull it up, my phone just died. This is a free classes group that we have on Facebook for you guys. So there's a couple questions for you to answer. Go ahead and join the group and then post your work on there. And I'd love to see what you guys can do, what you guys are creating, and show me how you can kind of incorporate this into your everyday designs. I'm kind of excited to see what you come up with. So thank you guys so much for watching this, and we will see you all on Facebook. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.